right. We are back. Peace and blessings. This is your brother Gabar, a.k.a. Carlos from the Bronx. And we are back. We are live. And we're doing it, man. So, obviously, everybody knows that, my thing got hacked or canceled. I don't want to bring false witness. I'm speculating here. I was under the impression that my YouTube channel, I Am Fit, is actually was disattached from my old email, GOCCNYC. And I think it was. I don't know if somebody deleted my channel because I just got an interrupt email and said that I'm no longer the owner of I Am Fit or that particular I Am Fit channel. I tried to call somebody within the church and I got no response yet. So it could have been a mistake. It could have been something else, but the show must go on. So make sure you like and subscribe, okay? Because this channel, and I'm going to be setting up multiple channels, and I did all the security 2 steps and 3 steps and notification steps to make sure I secured my channel. And I'm going to have multiple channels to make sure this doesn't happen again. Obviously, last show, which let's see here, what is this notification? Okay. It was a very controversial show. Obviously, a lot of people, some people got offended. Some people, I even lost some friendship over it. Well, from the church. And I understand. No love lost, I wish the brothers Godspeed. Some brothers felt I was abusing my body by smoking a cigar and kind of making light of the Andrew Tate cancellation or cancellation of within TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And it's funny. It's like I put in, I don't know that this was a prophecy, but I was like, if I'm next, that night I was literally next. So, but maybe this is all for the best. Maybe it's all for the best. Sometimes when you have certain blind spots that you don't see, when you get hit by those blind spots, you don't get hit again. So that's why the title of the show is "What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Stronger." Well, does it? Is it true? I don't know. We may have a debate about that. But sometimes something doesn't kill you, but sometimes it hurts you, right? And maybe you cannot recover. I don't know, but I believe as long as you're alive, you got breath in your lungs, you can always come back. So, I want to try to recap last show, why I did it. I was making fun out of the whole ultra masculine type of personality that's out there. Everybody's everybody's kind of taking page off, and but in all seriousness, I believe there is an attack on male masculinity, male just being a guy that wants to express himself the way he expressed himself. And people always want you to tone it down. They will always want you to be more sensitive and more, more loving. And there's always going to be a place for that. But I believe we are in the beginning state of a collapse of society as we know it. And when there's a collapse, when you look into history, people get desperate, people get anxious, people do things that ordinarily they would not do. When you're hungry and starving and don't know when you're going to get your next meal, because society collapsed, and you did not prepare because you thought that society will always be there. you could do some desperate things, or desperate things will happen to you. And I feel that as an influencer, I'm trying to influence people to go truly God's way, and specifically men. I believe there is a feminization of within Christian Christian church, and there is so much going on, even with academia. I want to probably show some videos. There's a young lady that she was a psychiatrist, and master degree. You got to be you have to have a master to be a to get advice, I guess, or analyze people. And what she was saying is that men are high time single. And what she said, men are alone because they don't know how to use their emotional communication skills. I'm paraphrasing, but I might play her later. And when I first saw this video, I thought it was a spook. I thought it was a lie. It was confirmed. She is a psychiatrist. She is a licensed therapist, and that's what she does. She has a master's degree, and she's out there and has her own TikTok channel. And what happened? Her job fired her after these TikTok channels, and you would understand why. What was their concern? I'm looking at the world, man. It's getting weirder and weirder and weirder. And part of the reason that I had to do my own thing and get out of the matrix, so to speak, and just be truly independent. And I felt that, the church concept wasn't working for me anymore. I know previous show I stated that churches don't work anymore in America, and I still stand by that. All churches, the principles, and I could be wrong, but for me, I believe that we have to start focusing on men, and I think men have to start finding their wolf pack. And I didn't find my wolf pack in the church. I didn't. I felt that perhaps maybe it was me. Maybe I was the weird one. Maybe I was the guy that was overthinking things. But the more I stood, the more I decided that I got to get out. And, in the beginning, I was like, I need to take a break. But now I realized I'm not going back. I'm not going back to a church concept. And the reason why is because, and I want to touch on this, and I touched on this in the previous show. People that are broken usually need a church, need a place to give them some form of guidance, whether it be therapy. Atheists will probably go to therapy. God-fearing people will go to church, right? And the problem is happening within the church that I feel that it doesn't work for me anymore. In regards of the marriages that's happening here in America, marriages that's been set up, marriages that exist within. Let me just lower my chair a little bit. Okay. The concept, the way the church structure is set up, it doesn't work for me. And let me explain why. Because I believe what is coming, the collapse, there needs to be a certain type of man that, or a mindset that I think the church is not providing or producing. And let me explain what this mindset is. It's not about being tough and alpha male, blah, blah, blah. But it's a type of man that is not attached to anything or anyone. and will not be attached to anything and anyone, even including a family that is going against what I'm about to express. I believe that the only way a church could work, or men in general need to be to survive this collapse is about to happen. I give it between 3 to 5 years. I'd say if America lasts another 10 years, I'll be surprised. I have a 2 to 3 year plan to get up out of here. I'm going to be traveling next year, but ultimately 2.5 years to literally don't come back. We're talking about burning my passport. I'm done. I'm not coming back. Or it will be a situation that I won't be able to come back because of the collapse, right? And when you look at all the data, when a society collapses, it's always they start questioning the gender roles, men and women. And the problem what I feel with churches is that when you come in with a couple that is already Americanized and you're trying to bring in a Hebrew Israelite culture into that Americanized couple, it usually doesn't work. And let me explain why. Usually there's damage or issues, whether it would be infidelity, whether it be, trust, respect, and then they'll come into the church, figuring out, trying to establish a Hebrew culture with an American background or American cultural premise, right? And sometimes the men are willing to execute that in a much faster level, obviously, because there is a benefit dealing with biblical principles in regards of men. There is a double standard. Men could be a pastor, men could be an elder, a bishop, a man is the head of the woman, the head of his household. And it's usually, it takes the woman some time or sometimes never becomes a reality that the woman will truly trust the man in his totality into running his household. The story that I keep hearing over and 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 over again in the 10 years that I've been counseling couples is usually they both are sincere and they both want to try to do the best to serve the Lord. But this is usually the theme. They both love each other. This new concept of a man being in charge of the household is a fairly new concept. And the woman is having problems submitting herself to her husband. And what she's asking for her husband is to have patience with her. I mentioned earlier that the most damaged people are the one that go into churches, and the people that are most damaged are women. So yet women, they are damaged, seeking love. This man loves them and they're in a relationship. And she really loves the guy, but she's having problem with respecting him. And she wants him just to be a little patient. And when that individual goes to the pastor, the elder, the bishop, usually the conversation is, well, brother, you got to have patience. Brother, you got to have patience. You got to hold on. You got to, let's pray together. Let's fast together. And I would say 1% of the time, usually it works. 9 times out of 10, it doesn't. People just going through the emotions of messing up, asking for forgiveness, messing up, asking forgiveness, messing up, asking forgiveness. And within my counsel, these are the things that I have given the folks as a blueprint to help them reshift the power dynamic into the household. Because the problem is that most women don't want to fully follow their man, and most men don't know how to lead their wife. However, though, I think women have used the notion that men can having issues leading their wife as an excuse not to follow. So what happened is that the woman will highlight all the mistakes that the man has done in the past. Every single time he has cheated on her, or she has caught him talking to another woman inappropriate, all the mistakes. Every time he lost his job, every time whatever, the bill would not pay on time. All the time he has been frustrated with her and yelled at her and cursed at her. She keeps all the data in her brain. And that data usually comes out. All the Rolodex comes out. All the details, dates, time, right? When he's trying to establish some authority. And it becomes a dog chasing his own tail. And that system is already broken. And for me, my frustration is that trying to fix broken people after they're broken. And I'm good, but I'm not that good. And that's been the problem. There's been some success. However, though, very far from few, very little. And even the success ones that have gotten better, I have not gotten good enough for me in regards of standards, because it's always a little of the past usually pops up. It becomes like, okay, they used to argue about 100 things. Now they only argue about 20 things. And they're working on those 20, and maybe next year will be 10. But there's still little issues, things of that nature. And I'm not saying that, every relationship will be perfect. However, that's been the concept. I've been hurt before. This is the woman, basically, scenario. I've been hurt before. I need you to be patient with me because I've gone through a lot. The victimization. And I always tell sisters, you're not your past. Do not let your past define you. And the brothers too. So the reason why I kind of felt that was something that it was like new people come in, they're broken, we're trying to fix them. They're not getting fixed, they're just showing face. And they probably only get better in hiding it. Because I used to call brothers from time to time and say, or when I used to be in the Shabbat teaching or what have you, hey brother, how's the marriage? And he gives me that look like I'm still maintaining. Elder, it's, and the face of like, I'm on the job, is a duty, I'm fighting, I'm holding on. We got good days, but most, it's not very joyful and like, yeah, I'm kicking it, I'm rocking it in my family. We're doing it, everything is fine, and there's no issues. It's usually I'm maintaining, elder. And those are the best cases. And this is not only in churches, in the church I was involved with, but I believe in most churches, and I believe in most American relationship. These rocky type of scenario. And we have normalized it to say, well, all relationship argue, all relationship go through issues. And it has become the norm, not the exception, not the once in a while couple. It's become everybody does this, right? So I felt, okay, I'm getting older. I got some ideas in my head. I cannot execute them in a structure that I am not in 100% control of. So I need to get out and do a different structure. This is a structure I think it will work for me. And I think this is the wolf pack that I'm looking for. I always look at a relationship from the perspective of wives, respect your husband as unto the Lord. Husband, love your wife as Christ loved the church. And usually what comes in is that the husband is expected to love his wife like Christ loved the church. And it will even get criticized if he comes short, and he will get reminded when he doesn't. But there is there's a thing with when women that they know they're supposed to respect the husband as unto the Lord, but they've been hurt. They're victims. I need some time. I need to work with me. Christ is still working with me. I've been through a lot. And I don't think that formula works anymore for me. Why I believe my marriage is successful is because I always from day one gave not only my wife, but any woman that I was taking seriously or considering the do's and don'ts, the things that would break up the relationship. And I stood with those principles. And sometimes those principles got me broken up with the girl. I can't stand you, Gabar, or Carlos. You too this, you too that. You're not for me. I need to find me another man. Good. And I could have compromised back then and maybe be in a relationship with someone else now. But I am happy and I am glad that I stood to my principles because I am now at peace at home. The most important thing in my life right now is peace. When you're young, you could deal with a little drama. It becomes a little almost fun. The whole conquering back and forth. But right now, I would literally blow my head off if I would be in that situation right now. That would be stuck in that situation. So what needs to happen for me, and I think this is for the men. This is for the men. Women, when I'm about to say, you probably guys not gonna like it. I think men at this point need to take a sabbatical from whatever relationship they're in, and assess what is going on, and this is the way a man's supposed to live. This is the way a man's supposed to be in existence. And my answer to that is no. I believe that this is time for men to be selfish and get out of the mindset of Babylon that you think that marriage is what God appointed you to be at all costs. And one thing I've always been selfish. And I think that selfish type of personality and outlook, I think kept me alive, kept me safe. And let me explain why. Because when you're selfish, when you first say, okay, before I take care of any person, a son, a daughter, a wife, hold on 2 seconds. Two seconds, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. My bad. It's my daughter in the door. I think my wife stepped out for a minute. Rebecca, you don't have the keys, Mama? Okay. All right. All right. So what was my thought? I lost my thought, a grain of thought. Okay. So white men need to be selfish. A, because the collapse is coming. And selfish sometimes keeps you alive. And if this is the way I'm thinking. If man's supposed to be the image of God, right? And we supposed to be the epitome of God, we should then look how, okay, let me reframe the statement. If the church, which is really men are the spiritual wife of God. We are his bride. Okay, my flock are men, right? That's a relationship that we need to have outside of our wives and kids and jobs and relationship and friendship. We have to have a special connection with God. And when we read the scripture, right? When we read the scripture, every single time God or we approach God, whether it be the prophets, whether it be any, Israel as a whole, it always has to be with fear and trembling. So if we are the wife of God, the men, and God is our spiritual husband, and we always have to approach him with fear and trembling, with respect, minimum respect, right? Why is that it's not being demanded of the women that are in, not only the women, but any person that is in our inner circle? And I'm not talking about being conceited or arrogant, okay? Is with the understanding is that if we are going to approach God with fear and trembling and respect, women need to approach us with that same respect. And it cannot be from the perspective of, well, I have problems respecting you. I have problems you dealing with, fear and trembling, but just be patient with me. You cannot be in the presence of God without respect and fear and trembling and giving, full worship. So I think of that and say, okay. And this is the reason why I always was thinking this way in regards, like, if any woman's going to deal with me and she doesn't respect me, and I know the difference from love and respect. I think we did those shows in the past. And I think now I'm going to redo those shows like a part 2, because I think now I could bring more fire to this conversation. I'm not restrained by any organization. So I'm probably going to do a lot of these shows over again. I put on the title on the show is, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But I put episode number 1. I know, although this is not episode number 1, but I kind of feel this is like the new beginning. I think all this happened for a reason. The canceling of the old show, this new podcast, so forth, so on. And I'm just rebuilding. I think it's all connected. So the reason why I'm looking to set up men in particular, they understand this concept that before any woman operates with me, she has to first respect me. But respect is earned. So you have to become the person that a woman will respect. That's why we have to come together, brothers, and increase our value, increase our stock in the dating market. And let me explain what I'm saying. Men are walking away from relationship more than ever. So I think this is the perfect time. And I'm going to go into some videos that kind of shows that. And because men are getting tired, obviously, of all the pitfalls of dealing with marriage, right? You busted your behind to try to support your family, and you're not getting respect at home. So men are just simply tapping out of relationship. So there's a lot of single women. And do not allow these tabloids and these type of magazines talking about, oh, men are alone because they're depressed. Men are alone because whatever reason they'll give. Men are tapping out. We're not alone. Women may be alone because they're social creatures, but men are comfortable being alone. That's always been my personality, and I'm looking for men that are that type of personality. I'm looking for men. I'm looking for my wolf pack. I believe that men first have to respect themselves and do not deal with any woman that would not respect them. And we're going to go into that. How can that be? How can that be manifest? One of the reasons why I believe that this respect factor comes, or the lack of respect that women don't have, in particular in America, because women in America, you guys are going crazy. Out in the world, you guys are something else. There's something happening when you chicks out here in the world, and that men needs to start acknowledging it. That little spider sense in the back of your head that you think things ain't right, and you're trying to conform and try to figure out, maybe it's me, not them. No, it's them. There's something going on mentally with women today. But part of this whole idea that increase the value of women is monogamy. And let me explain. And I keep saying this in the show several times, and I'm going to keep repeating this, and I'm going to actually do some more in-depth shows on this subject. When you have the concept that I am, as a woman, I am worth one man to only be with me. I'm worth that. And any man that goes and looks at another woman, he doesn't love you, he doesn't care for you, he's a dog, he is not worth your love. That concept has ruined women. Monogamy has ruined women because it has deflated their value, because monogamy has been sold as being the norm. So the wolf pack that I'm looking for is men that are comfortable and are willing to be in a polygamous scenario. If that's not your thing, you're not part of my wolf pack. I'm going to explain why. Because any man that has this idea that, hey, brother Gabar, I hear what you're saying, but my wife is enough for me. I can't look at another woman. She's the only woman I love. She's the only one that I will ever care for. That type of mindset can't rock with me. It's not going to be around my inner circle. I'm going to tell you why. Because the type of man that we need to be manifest in society today, I believe, my opinion, is a man that do not believe in that concept, because you need a man to be thought so valuable that he is comfortable being in a scenario with multiple women and believe that that's a more natural state of being. The man that is a monogamist and feel that I am wrong by being a polygamist or believing that that's okay. I'm not knocking a man choosing. It's a difference between choosing and believing that you can only love one woman. Gabard, if you can, if you don't love one woman, you don't really love her. That type of guy, dude, I don't want around me, because that guy is dangerous. I believe he's weak. I believe he's neutered, spiritually neutered. I don't believe that he's gonna be the guy who's gonna be the guy that the women are going to eat their own bread and wear their own apparel to be called by that man's name, like in Isaiah chapter 4. The guy that is only dealing with monogamy thinking is not going to be the guy that is going to be the guy that women are going to be saying, hey, we will take care of ourselves, but you have something of value that we are willing to share you. Hear what I'm saying, guys. Hear what I'm saying. So this is not about being a whoremonger. This is about deflating the value of women made them understand that for them to even be in a scenario that they think they could be in a monogamous scenario, it's literally mental illness. It has been mental illness. Let me explain why. Because it's really a joke. Because a man could be monogamous, but he has to suppress those feelings. And the question is, why? Why he suppressed those feelings? And let's look at all the stacks. Let's look at all the data. Okay, let's look at this, how history constantly kind of repeats itself. When a man is single and he's out there, and he's young and he's vibrant and things of that nature, he's in his top of his game. And you notice men that are in top of their game even through their 30s and 40s and even 50s still look younger, more vibrant. You got, certain men that don't get married, these bachelors, right? They don't get married. They had multiple women and things of that nature. And what I'm saying is that's what the world is producing. And that's the left side of how a man's supposed to live. Because a man supposed to be dealing with multiple sexual partners, multiple women, okay, 3, 4, 5, whatever is your standard. Some men have more sexual appetite than others, right? And when you suppress that, what is the outcome of that? You start gaining weight. You guys can look this up. A man that has multiple sexual partners, his testosterone is usually is higher. That's why men after 40, when they get married, they start getting the beer belly. They start settling down, okay? Because they no longer need to produce or they're out there in the pride. They're out there, trying to search the next mate. But if you are always had multiple wives, and maybe you start with one in your 20s, and maybe you add another one in your 30s, maybe you add another one in your 40s, and so forth, so on. Those wives are going to always keep your spirit high. Keep your spirit high. Okay? And your testosterone is going to be and where it's supposed to be. You're going to be happier, more contempt. The world is going to produce a better version of men. Because let's think about it. Who are the men that are out there having multiple women, multiple lovers? Are the 1%, the 2%, the high value men, right? Or the tough guys, the good looking tough guys, they're out there. You don't have to, and it's not really about looks, guys. It's about confidence, be sure of yourself, and being the guy that the Most High made you to be. And I don't want guys to feel shame about that. Men that are starting to feel less than, starting to feel like that's something that is barbaric or ancient or backwards or, misogynist, whatever that word is, being a thing that a man and desiring multiple women and being content is a naughty thing. And when men suppress those feelings, what happened? What happened? Let's deal with the stacks. Let's deal with the stacks. Pornography is catering to who? What population pornography is catering? The strip clubs, prostitution, OnlyFans, okay? It's catering to who? Men, not women. Women, their porn is what? Romantic novels, right? That's what their women are not really visual people. And because you suppress a man's appetite, he starts getting what? More desperate. And that's, he becomes addicted to other things. Porn, starts, cheating on his wife, okay? And his wife has been brainwashed to think or programmed that if he cheats on me, it's because he doesn't love me. And you see women going out of control when they even suspect the man her husband looking at another woman. But you're suppressing that man. You're neutering that man. when you're the king of the jungle and you have all the food you need, you're not worrying about the food because the food is there. But when you're not the king of the jungle and you're out there desperate finding food, when you find a cracker in the floor, you like sucking every molecule of that cracker because you're desperate for food. And that's the reason why pornography and fornication is in a all-time high, because we are suppressing and nuding men. So I'm done with being ashamed. I'm done with being embarrassed talking about it. And this show is going to be the safe place for men to talk about these issues. And not only talking about it, we're going to start talking about actually executing and becoming those men. And I'm not someone that is telling brothers to go out there and start, laying with all these different women and having these type of relationship, these midnight relationship, these dark, these secret relationship. Okay, this is being in a scenario that you could talk about it with your wife. Your wife doesn't feel threatened because you have trained her properly. Yes, the word trained. I'm going to use it. Get over yourself. You have coached her, or you not only coach her, but you also have put the ultimatum that the only woman I'm going to be dealing with is the woman that would think is absurd to think that I could only be faithful to her. And once we get over this scenario, once this monogamy, polygamy conversation is no longer a problem, a thing to pass, we're going to produce the best kind of man. And let me tell you why this thing is also, I believe, is also well for society in regards of producing the best kind of guy. You have heard, Andrew Tate, Kevin Samuels, all, Fresh and Fit, all these male stratosphere guys talk about, and this is true, I looked it up, that in most society, 80% of the women are having sex with 20% of the men. I'm going to repeat that again, guys. 80% of the women are having sex relationships and babies with 20% of the men. Having children with 20% of the men. That's why you got, men with multiple kids by multiple women. Why? Because and then in that community, he's the alpha male. He's the alpha prize. Or the zeta, whatever. There's different type of masculinity. We don't be discussing. I discuss in a further show and things of that nature. In some of the shows that I did before, I was thinking of downloading them. Because I did download some of them, not all of them. The one that I did last, the one that before I got canceled, I didn't download that one because I usually downloaded it after. But I'm not gonna download those things no more. The ones I maybe put them in Patreon or what have you. I'm gonna start it fresh and new. So this is show number 1. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure that you put the notification and all that good stuff. Also, if you want to support, I'll be getting some emails. People want to support financially. I do appreciate that. Today was my second interview. I'm going to be starting working Monday or Thursday. I got to get my cell phone. They're going to give me a cell phone and a laptop, and then it's working out. So everything is cool. And what's happening is that women, because of them being brainwashed, they're having children with the man that they want to be with, but settling with the man who they could get. Because of what? Monogamy. They're not willing to share the high profile man, the man to do what they really want. That guy, He doesn't love me. Why he doesn't love me? So let me settle for this guy. But if the monogamy concept was not even a thing, or that becomes an alternative lifestyle, as they call, other lifestyle. And it becomes more normal that other women do not shame women that are sharing their husbands or their men with other women, sister wives. If that becomes more norm, and we stop demonizing that and creating a pimp-like type of scenario. Oh, he's a pimp, he's a player. These are my hoes. No, these are my wives. If we change the spectrum, the outline of polygamy, women will be like, you know what? This is a good guy. This is what I want. Let me share him. Let me sit down and say, listen, I know you got other women. Let's work it out and let's build this family together. We already have kids together. Now, another problem that we need to do, brothers, is to change the image of a man, and in regards of being a man, because of what was happening, especially in the inner city, in the inner cities, when there's usually low education, low intelligence. Usually the women are going for the bad boys. The guys that are usually breaking the rules, because that is the only manifestation or representation of an alpha male or a tough guy. We have to break that cycle and introduce women in the inner cities and throughout the America, and then also the world, a different kind of guy. We have to take stuff like responsibility and structure, order as being sexy. We have to take the guy who's breaking the rules versus the guy who's following the rules more sexy and more desirable to the women. And that's why I'm creating this wolf pack. Because it's all about marketing, baby. It's all about, promoting a different lifestyle, a different perspective, because women are going to be like, I want this bad boy, but look at this guy. Who's this guy? Who's this tough guy? Who's this ultra masculine guy? And that's what we have to start doing. So then the bad boys and the thugs become a thing of the past. They become almost embarrassment. It becomes like, I don't mind dealing with these idiots. I'm going to deal with this guy. Because what happened is women don't have an alternative. All they have is what they have. But we have to be willing to face reality. And what is reality? There's certain women, you can't change them. There's certain women in America, this doesn't matter what you tell them, what rules you establish, what you become the best version of yourself, she's still gonna not respect you. We need to produce men that are strong enough to walk away. And the thing that hurts me, man, there's a lot of good guys. There's a lot of good guys that I became friends, and, I was with the church, and that they're stuck. We need guys that are brave enough and strong enough to even walk away from those families. And I'm throwing you guys a lifeline. I'm throwing you guys a lifeline of not feeling guilty. We're only getting older, guys. We're not getting younger. I have spoke to men that don't have children, taking care of other men's children, and they're not being respected at home. Brother, walk away. Those are not your children. Those are not your children. I'm going to come back on tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a lesson specifically dealing with Isaiah chapter 4. Because I'm going to keep driving this thing home. Because there's going to be a lot of brothers that need to walk away from some children as well. I'm giving you the option, and I'm telling you, and I'm removing the guilt. We're going to read some scripture that even our forefathers sometimes dealt with women, and we had to walk away and leave those children there. And the crazy thing is, there are men that are stuck in a relationship. They may have one son or a daughter. They're already a teenager, but the majority of the kids are it's not even his. And you're in a situation that, your child is already almost an adult. And we're gonna start educating men that in certain states, you could have a child who's 16, and they could legally leave the house. They're already an adult. They could actually go with you, and their parents cannot stop them, the mother. Women have too much power, and there's too much incentive for women to get a divorce or not really disrespect their husband because there is no blowback. And the only blowback that we have, the only thing that we have is not to hit them, is not to punch walls, is to walk away. But before you get these 7 wives, as the scripture says, they will eat their own bread and eat their own bread and wear their own apparel. You have to control your loins, because there may be times if you walk away, right, you may not find a suitable wife a month, a year, few years. Are you strong enough, right, to resist temptation, to go back to your own vomit, to go back to the Americanized women of thinking? Are you strong enough to fight against the second strongest thing on earth, which is women? We all know the parables in the book of the Apocrypha. We got wine, the king, and women are stronger than wine, the king, and what's stronger than women is the truth. Are you strong enough to walk away and create this wolf pack that I'm looking to create? I told the brothers in the show that I'm going to be reaching out to the brothers and so on, and I'm going to be interviewing you guys. And at this point, whether you can stay with any church you're involved with, whether it be GOCC, whether it be another Israelite community, whether it be the Christian church, whatever it may be, that's on you. One of the requirements, you got to believe in God, right? And we could work out the details later. But it's going to come a time that the church is going to have a problem with you. And that's a fight you have to, that's a mountain you have to climb. That's an issue you got to deal with. That's between you and that church. I have nothing to do with that. Because what's happening in America, there is an increase of insanity being normalized. And men are walking away. And this is what's the frustration. The frustration, it frustrates me. A lot of men that don't believe in God are walking away, and a lot of men that do believe in God are staying in this captivity. Because they're being neutered by their pastor. Well, brother, there's no divorce. Well, brother, the Bible says you got to work it out. You got to forgive. And all that is true, but this is the problem. Because they didn't establish that standard in the beginning, day one of the relationship. Now they got a lot of enduring, a lot of forgiving. See, if you guys would have started from the beginning, you will not be in that situation. That's the reason why I believe that the people I need to probably attack and the people I need to gravitate are men that don't believe in God, and try to convince them to believe in God. Because a lot of men are neutered in these Christian churches because once they say I do, they feel it's forever. Because it's the women, there is 80% of the African-American population, women. I think it's across the board. I don't think it's only in the African-American. I think it's across the board. And a high percentage of the women are the ones that are filing for divorce. So men are staying for duty. So this is the best time to strike. This is the best time to strike because men now, more than ever, are walking away from relationship, are now looking at scenarios that they are saying, you know what, I need to either go elsewhere, okay, or just deal with women in the streets. So men are not dealing with relationship because you're dealing with disrespected women, women that don't respect you, that frustrate you. You know, guys are finding out that, you know, their kids are not theirs 3 years later because they got some, you know, some blood tests and they realized it wasn't his, and all that's going on in America. And men are dealing with it, and we're dealing with it, and we're dealing with it. And see, and there was a guy, one of these guys that, you know, either you guys subscribe to me. I think his name is Generational Health. I mean, Generational Wealth, I think it's called. I don't know if it's a brother or a sister. And I don't want to call you a troll, but it looks like he's always speaking again. Every comment is negative, and I'm cool. Listen, I don't. You could keep it coming. I'm not in any way having my feelings hurt. Words don't hurt my feelings. But I will say this. One of the comments that he mentioned in the previous channel that I had, and brothers, if you have, or sisters, I don't know if you're a brother or sister, you sound like a guy, but that could be wrong. And if you want to come on the show, man, and you want to have a respectful conversation, some dialect, let's have a conversation. Because it looks like, you know, you always are speaking something negative or disagreeing with me and things of that nature. And I'm cool because, you know, like I mentioned in the previous shows, I like when people disagree with me because then that gives me some enlightenment in how people are viewing me. So I'm good. Okay. And I'm hearing, you know, about the cigar. Hey, brother, listen, I'm going to smoke a cigar once in a while. Okay. It's you know, my temper is strong, Papa. I'm good. My temper is good. So let's stop this hypocrisy. You understand? Because you got brothers that are drinking more than they should, right? And even in churches, right? Alcoholics sometimes, and nobody's saying, you know, and nobody's talking about, well, you know, smoking is wrong. Okay, there's nothing wrong smoking some tobacco. Okay, cigarettes that you know, because all the chemicals in there, you know, you get addicted, things of that nature. But everything within moderation. And the scripture said, "Where there's no law, there's no sin." There's no law specifically that says that smoking tobacco, a nice cigar, a nice Cuban cigar, cigarette, a nice you know, Dominican cigar. You know, I think Dominican cigar are the best. I'm probably biased because I'm Dominican, but there's no law against that, as long as you do it in moderation. If that offends you, brother, I don't know what to tell you. Get over yourself. Real talk. And that's the problem I think was happening within the Christian church is this feminization. Oh, you know, brother, your temple, and it becomes, you know, men to be men. Men to be men. If you could drink a beer, you could drink a little wine, you could drink strong drinks, you know, as long as you do it within moderation. So get over yourself, guys. It's real talk. We have to sometimes you need little things just to relax and so forth, so on. Okay. As long as it doesn't become a god to you. It doesn't become so consuming that you're living by, you can't think about it. Smoking a cigar, I don't have an addictive personality because most people that are alcoholics and drug addicts, it's not the drugs, it's the addictive personality. They have done studies that it's really outside of, I think, heroin, even cocaine. I think there is some with cigarettes, but that's out. You know, the jury's still out with that. That there's no component in these chemicals that actually give you some form of addiction. And what people have seen that the people that get addicted to whether it be gambling or whether it be cigarettes or alcohol already have these addictive personalities within them. So it could have been a lot. There's a lot of people that are addicted to working out. They just took their addictive personality and geared it to a positive direction. So get over yourself with these things. Okay, if these things offend you, find yourself another show. So I'm saying that to say this. We're in a scenario that we have to produce men that are in control of their vessel, their mind, their emotions, their intellect, and they're always striving to be better. And when they are considering a woman, when they are considering a wife, they have to first establish the order. See, because what happens is that men usually, when they're courting a sister, they're trying to win over the sister. And there's no standard for the sister to try to win over the brother. The sister's like, well, I need a good man. The mindset is, listen, I need to get I want to get with one of these good men. What do I need to do to get one these men? That thought is not in women's personalities. It's not in the psyche of women. And that isn't within the churches. I'm looking for a good man, not if I'm good enough of a woman to be with a man. Any man, then a good man. So men have to stop being conceited and start saying, I'm the prize, not you. You have to show me that you're worthy of my intention. You're worthy of my love. And any woman that gets offended, any woman that is in this scenario that, oh, I don't like Gabar, I don't like the way he's coming, and let's pray for him and all that. Save your breath. Real talk. Save your breath. It's beta male energy. I don't want none of it. It's beta male energy that's been masqueraded with the Bible. Because everything that I'm saying, everybody agrees with, but it's the way, you're coming out with. It's the way that the way you're saying it. It's not nice. Can you just be nicer? It's too late in the game. We're in the midnight hour. So at this point, there is no more talking. There is no more trying to convince women that I need you to respect me. You got to lower your voice. Stop criticizing me. I don't like the way you talk to me. Those days are over. The days that I want to see is, listen, honey, you do that again, I'm out. But I need you to be patient. I had a bad day at work. Listen, it happens again, I'm out. And you have to show and prove, and they have to know that it's real. And this is going to happen. That if you establish these principles and you live by them, you're going to get rid of all the bad women around your life. You may end up with no women. You have to be okay with that too. You may end up with one. You may just end up with two. Or you may end up with 7. Get it? So, guys, what I'm asking of you is going to probably be the most difficult thing that you ever have to accomplish. Matter of fact, if you're going to be with the wolf pack that I'm establishing, you should be already in your mindset that you're probably going to lose your woman. Be ready to be monogamous. Not monogamous. Be someone who is not, celibate. Get in your mindset, right? Get in your mindset to be celibate, because the man that you're going to become, you're going to be what? Offensive to people? It's not you're going to be rude. It's not you're going to be someone that is a scenario that you're going to be a mean jerk. I could use other words, but you know what I'm saying. But you're going to stand those principles, and those principles are going to be alien to the people around you. But first, we have to train you. You got to be trained first. Before you train others, you got to be trained yourself. It's the mindset. And what is the mindset is you don't attach yourself to anything that you cannot walk away. Within 15 minutes, if need be, if that person is not within the understanding that you are the alpha male in that relationship. You are the leader of that relationship. And if they don't submit and understand that it's not 50-50, that you are the dictator, you are a benevolent dictator, you are a wonderful dictator, you are a forgiving and loving dictator, but you are a dictator in your home. And once men are comfortable with that and not ashamed, like I mentioned before, you're going to become the most powerful being. The most powerful being you ever, more powerful than you ever imagined. But first, you got to be that selfish guy. It's my way or the highway. See, what the problem with guys is that you come in sweet and then become rough later because people are not respecting you. Women are not respecting you. You have to first come be a stir man. You have to be a man that is a no-nonsense man. And then let the women earn your softness, earn your love. Sometimes a lot of you guys, man, you're revealing too much to these women on the first date because you're looking for a mother. You're looking for a woman to understand you. You've been through a lot. You're going through a lot. You just want somebody to understand it. You're becoming feminizing. You are not becoming the image of God that God has made you. And I don't think church are building men like that. Because what it takes is going to take divorces. It's going to take men walking out until the women get their act right. And in the church structure, that institution cannot handle that type of scenario. But now my wolf pack is going to stay, that's why I prefer men that are single. And I could build them there so they don't have no responsibility. So therefore, you build a man, then you build a family. Or you build a man and that man build his family. But if you are married, we could talk about it, and it will not disqualify you. However, though, I need to make sure that what you're telling me in regards to what's going on in your household is true. And one of the things that your wife will have to accept is polygamy. If you all marry all men that will join my wolf pack and join this organization that I'm looking to start, the woman must accept another woman, must be okay with it, regardless whether you want to engage in that scenario right away or ever. The woman has to be comfortable. And I know when people are lying, especially women. I could smell them a mile away. And the reason why I need to be this ruthless, because it's a mindset that comes with a woman that believes, well, I'm not ready for polygamy. I can't deal with that. That's too much for me. And it's a mindset with a man that will deal with a woman with that mindset. And I know that's the normal American way. But I'm not looking to establish this system the normal American way. Because let me show you guys what's out there. This is a young sister that is a psychiatrist or shrink or she's giving advice. The controversial thing is that once her job found out that she was doing these things, she got fired, and then now she's like, went viral. But this woman has a master's degree. Okay, so let's have a little conversation. Let's see what this woman has to say.
The articles of research. So despite actual statistics stating that men are actually the fuck alone because y'all refuse to expand your emotional vocabulary because bitches are not dealing with y'all horse.
See, and I love how she's flipping this around. Yes, men are alone more than ever before. Men are not remarrying if they get divorced. Men are not seeking women out there. There is an influx, a humongous influx of single men. But this crazy demon, and that's exactly what I'm calling her, she needs a shrink. She needs some counseling. It's a scary world that this person is giving people advice. Fair use.
Shit anymore. Even in an article, y'all are still not believing this. I have so many clients that are leaving their partners because they refuse to expand any part of themselves. This podcast culture has forced y'all to believe that treating women like shit is the answer to getting.
And brothers, do not let these women trick you. Oh, you treated me like crap. You don't love me because you're being mean. Why? Because I want you to respect me? Because I got guide rules that are good for us? I want us to start saving money? I want us to start preparing for the collapse? I'm telling you, it's a mind control. It's a psychological game that they play on us. It's sorcery. And these are the women that are out there with the master degree. And she's probably working on a PhD.
Women. And I'm here to tell you, bruh, that we're human beings and don't want to tolerate y'all fuck shit. I.e., we are okay with being childless and alone at the cost of your emotional abuse. We okay on that.
See, that emotional abuse talk is I remember in the 90s when that became a thing. I'm a victim. I've been abused. What? They hit you? No. It was verbal abuse. It was emotional abuse. It was psychological abuse. I'm telling you, women, what men need to understand is the female nature. The female is physically weaker than men. They cannot physically dominate us. So they have to then get smarter, and they have gotten smarter in the intellect realm to make men neuter and feel like, hey, maybe she's right. Maybe you have to be more sensitive. And because, and what I need to be more sensitive about? Oh, allowing you to dress up like a whore, allowing you to go out, on the weekends with your friends. I don't like that dress. Oh, you being too controlling. Don't let them trick you. Don't let them trick you. And you have to be willing to be alone. We're already alone, mama. So you don't have to worry about it. We're already single. And see, and this is your mission, man, if you choose to accept it. See, because men that are in the world are not dating crazy chicks like this, but they are, got some side chicks, some, women of the night, right? And as Christians, we cannot engage in that type of lifestyle. So for us, it's actually harder to actually be single because, we don't have a side chick until so forth, so on, right? Until we get whatever. We don't deal with the women of the night. We don't deal with porn because that's against God. So what is happening is this, that all the Christians, all the Bible believers are stuck with women like this. See the trick? The atheists are free. We out. We're going to, Brazil, right? We're getting our passport. Right? We're going to Thailand, and we're going to be talking about that too because don't let them trick you either. They think that all those women in Brazil, all those women in Thailand, overseas, only want your money, want to come to America for a green card, and are all prostitutes. It's a lie. It's a lie. I got receipts on that. There's certain women that get Americans, right, but don't want to come back to America. It's a lot. That's why we have to expand our horizon. Because this is going to be a global wolf pack, a global organization of men. And the only way a woman could join it, she has to get married in. She has to pick one of these men. So we're going to talk about this. This podcast is going to be the first podcast of me constantly executing, expressing what has been in my mind, in my heart for a long time and what is needed. And a lot of women are not going to like it. I don't care. The only women that are going to hang around with us and be with us, the women that get it and say, you know what, these are the guys I want to be with. Yeah, these guys get, I do agree with them. It's ridiculous for me to think I could just, one man could only, I should only be with one man or one man should only be with me, excuse me. That mindset should be out of every woman's mind if they're going to be around my circles. I'm not debating this with women. I'm not discussing this. I'm not going to different shows and try to, I'm only operating with men. I would debate men. I would discuss men, try to win men over into this side of the lane. But when women, listen, you could go somewhere. The only women I'm going to be operating is women that totally submit with the understanding that, yeah, you're good boy, you're right. Monogamy does not work. Yeah, we don't respect men, and you're right. I'm gonna start respecting men, period. Not, I need patience. Could you please counsel me and things of that nature? Because, hey, you don't need counsel to respect your boss. You do it for that check every 2 weeks, right? You do it. Yes, boss, no problem. Right away. Oh, you need overtime? I'm there. We're not playing this game anymore.
Now, wait. You might be thinking, but wait, I'm not abusive. The definition of abuse is the intentional misuse of something. By you intentionally not taking your mother...
See, that's that psychological thing. I'm not abusive. I'm not abusive by telling you, listen, I'm not comfortable you wearing that, half your tits showing. I'm not comfortable with you doing that. No, I'm not comfortable you having male friends. He's my friend from college. No, that ain't gonna go down. Don't let them trick you. Because a lot of women that would love to be with a man like that.
Fucking ass of therapy and talking about all the things that plague you. You are neglecting your bitch. And she's not tolerating this shit no more. You know what? I even pulled the article back up. I'm gonna read this because y'all seem to not know words.
And these articles, you gotta be careful with these articles because these articles are left-winning. They will switch the road. They will say, men are more lonely than ever versus men are walking away from relationship. And I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you that it's not that men are not lonely. The women are lonely. The women are desperate. Men are bouncing out. Men are like, listen, I'm not getting involved. I'm not going to remarry. I'm good being alone because men have always been comfortable alone because we're not social creatures like women. We're comfortable having 2-3 friends and that's it.
This literally says, I hear dating culture themes between women of the ages 25 and 45. They prefer men who are emotionally available, good communicators, and share similar values. Y'all.
Oh my God. She discovered some new thing. What like, of course you should date with somebody with similar values, idiot. Let this woman, and I will like, you know what? I almost said I would love to have this woman on the show, but I just forgot my vow. I'm never gonna deal with these crazy chicks. Ignore them, guys. Ignore them. Don't try to argue with them. Don't try to win them over. Well, sister, let me explain to you. But what about these stacks? That's what they want. That's how they get you. Because they have evolved to be more intelligent in regards of the conversation. That's why it's extremely important for brothers to learn how to communicate, learn words, and learn how to articulate their feelings and their thoughts and what they want. But more importantly, don't play the game with these women because it's never ending. They will not stop at something like reason or logic to win an argument. They will not say, well, that's logical. So therefore, I'm going to stop arguing this point because it's illogical. That's not even coming in their head. It's like the black conscious community with Kemet. When we was teaching, we were showing all the data, all the Israelite. There was homosexuality in Egypt. You had all kinds of immoral behaviors in Egypt. Okay, with Kemet on trial, they didn't care because their hate for the Bible was greater than their love for Kemet. That's why I have to walk away with it, because they're illogical. It's a crazy behavior. Ignore chicks like this. And don't let them trick you just because they have a PhD or a master's degree, as if they have any authority in what they're saying.
I don't even know how to articulate your emotions. So how the fuck are you supposed to maintain a relationship? I.e. you...
See, their version of a man saying no. I'm gonna have a shirt. You know, I'm putting a shirt together for I Am Apparel. I'll make sure you guys did support and things. And let me know. And let me know, guys, if you try to order something, you have any issues and things of that nature. This, if you purchase 2 shirts, 3 or 4 or 5, there's no shipping and handling. Shipping and handling is for free. So make sure you support I Am Apparel. But I'm just gonna have a shirt that says simply no. Because see, what women don't need to understand is that the way men are built, we don't need to draw out our explanation. We don't have to express why we're telling you no. We don't have to give you the behind the scenes why we feel this way. See, women, that's how they communicate. That's how they articulate their feelings. Men, we don't need to do all that. We get straight to the point. No, I don't want to do that. No, don't wear that. But why you feel that way? Why? You're not expressing that. Because that's how women express themselves. That's how they communicate with each other. When they're talking among them friends and someone says something, one of their girlfriends, everybody say, well, why you feel that way? And then if they have to explain their emotion connection to their decision, us men, we don't have time for that. We don't have the time. We don't have the patience. We don't have the desire to explain every little thing, every little decision. Sometimes we have to explain. Sometimes we have to articulate, and because people may not understand. And I'm not saying I'm not against men expressing themselves, but they're using men telling women, no, I don't like that dress. That's too tight. I don't like that friend you hang out with. Because they are disagreeing with your explanation. And they think the more that you talk, 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 the more that she talk, well, I'm smarter than him. I went to school. He doesn't understand. If he just listens to me, he will understand and they agree with me. See, that's the game they're playing. Because women cannot just simply accept the fact that, hey, maybe he doesn't agree with me. And since this is the guy who's going to protect me when things hit the floor, and sometimes these arguments is so minute and idiotic. Listen, I've been in arguments with women that were in the choir, praising God, arguing with their husband over a ticket, a traffic ticket. I kid you not. If you guys would have been part of these conversations, you guys will understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. You guys, because it's almost like this thing is insane. I cannot believe that I'm listening to this nonsense. And the end result is always, well, brother, that's your wife. You got to deal with it. And it pains me, man. It really pains me that these men are not in these type of situations. And that's what I was talking to about, what's that, generational wealth. I don't know if he's a brother or a sister. But one of the comment, he was like, hey, brother, it looks like you had a fight with your wife or you had an issue with your wife. Listen, brother. There's not that energy in this household. It's not that energy. But more importantly, I don't have to experience that to actually sympathize with men. 10 to 12 years I've been with the church, experiencing those same type of situation. See, I believe I'm dramatized because although I've not experienced myself in my household, I'm like those police officers that gone into domestic violent homes and constantly see their wife getting beat up or people getting murdered and things of that nature. That messes you up psychologically. You start saying, wait a minute, nobody's talking about this? It's looking at what's going on here. And this is supposed to be the home of the truth. I'm done with it, man. Like carajo, I'm not dealing with that nonsense anymore. If women are not come correct, leave her and her damn kids. Leave her. Plan? Shh. Don't say anything to anybody. You can send me an email. We could talk about it. I'll give you some tips. And one day she'll wake up and be like, a little letter. This is not working out for me. I keep telling you, I'm tired of this. I keep telling you, I don't like this. I keep telling you. And at this point, it's not working out. And what they're going to do, they're going to cry. Oh my God, they left me. Oh my God. And then members from the church and your community can be like, go back. This is not right, brother. You got to forgive your wife. Don't go back. Remember Lot's wife. Don't look back, brother. That's why with this organization I'm starting, if you're married, you're more than welcome, but I got to talk to your wife. Like, are you down with polygamy? Well, I could probably, maybe, I'll think about it. Oh, hey, brother, you don't qualify. I'm sorry, brother. Sorry. And the reason why we need to start doing this, the reason why we need to start being this ruthless, because it's too late in the game. It's too late in the game. And I truly believe in my heart of hearts that if we establish this thing right, we could start switching this thing. We could start switching this thing. Babe, do me a favor. Babe, give me some water, mama. Thank you. We could start switching this thing and do it right. So let's hear a little bit of this, because what this woman is doing, she's switching the narrative. Not that men are leaving and not engaging in relationship anymore and being single because by choice. Because women in America is damn no good. He's no good anymore. She's saying, well, you're alone because you're not expressing your emotional feelings and your emotional intellect and blah, blah, blah. It's a trick, guys. Don't fall for it.
You can't. That's why you're single. Still not convinced, boo-boo. I got another one for you. Skills.
Who will marry this demon? Who will date this demon? You know, and at least somebody within academia and within, thank you, baby. Hey, take this one, baby. Thanks. At least within somebody within, you know, her organization, what have you, had enough common sense to fire this crazy chick. Because when I first saw this, I thought it was like a practical joke. I thought it was like, this cannot be a psychiatrist. She has a master's degree? This cannot be real. But I looked it up. It's real. She got fired and all that.
Deficits. For men, this means the relationship skills.
And you know what the funny thing is? That I don't think with her scenario, because I was watching other shows that was talking about this, and usually psychiatrists or shrinks and things of that nature, when they work for an organization, they make about $50,000 to $55,000 a year. But when they get good enough and experienced enough, they go do their own business, and then if they know what they're doing, their business go up to like, you know, $100,000, $150,000 a year. It's sometimes double and triple the income. I don't think that's going to be the case with this chick. But who knows? It's a crazy world. You know, she probably will get famous on TikTok alone. or set up her own podcast, and it will get just famous just because of how ridiculous she is.
Gap that, if not addressed, i.e. in therapy, take y'all fucking asses to therapy, will likely lead to fewer dating opportunities, less patience for poor communication skills, and longer periods of being single.
No, longer period of being at peace. Longer period of not dealing with some crazy chicks like this.
The problem for men is that emotional connection is the lifeblood of a healthy, long-term, loving relationship. Emotional connection requires skills that families are still not consistently teaching their young boys. Y'all can learn this shit in therapy. That's why I keep telling y'all this shit. You wonder why older men go for younger women? Because older women are not tolerating y'all horse shit. But now we're seeing the gap close even more. Y'all need to stop listening to these male podcasters who are sad that their dads didn't return with the milk. Go to therapy and talk about this shit.
This is the whole thing. They're going to try to shame you. They're going to try to say you're the problem. They're going to try to say that, your daddy left you, blah, blah, blah. Shout out to my dad. First of all, he didn't leave me. He passed away. Matter of fact, I had an issue with my mom because they were going to a divorce, and I wanted to be with my dad. I didn't have daddy issues. Okay, I mean, my mom, we're good now. Shout out to my mommy and all that good stuff. But I don't have daddy issues. I have crazy chicks issues like this. And it's like this is the way I look at this, right? I'm like, damn. Was I the only one? I'm the lucky one? Because it's really not, my wife, she's a simple Puerto Rican sister. I ask her for some water. She gives it to me. I treat her with respect and love. I don't say, hey, come here, Hope, give me some water. No, babe, can you give me some water? And she gives it to me. I'm speaking about polygamy issue. I'm not seeing, there's no issue here, Mr. Generational Wealth or Miss, whatever you are. Because I established this early. But what happened is women like her will try to brainwash women like my wife and be like, I know you're going through a lot. I know you're not really happy, right? And that's why these single ass demons are out there, because they can't keep a man. They don't know what the one iota was going to take to keep a man. They want everybody to be miserable like her. Don't let them trick you, guys. Don't let them trick you. Don't let them think that being a man and establishing the order, because there is structure or what's the word I'm looking for? Relationship roles, right? Anything heavy that needs to be carried. My wife called me, baby, could you move this for me? It's heavy. That's my job. I'm physically stronger with her than her. So therefore, I would do that. Okay? Somebody's attacking this household. I'm the one that's getting the gun. I'm the one that's going out there defending my family. That's relationship roles. Okay? She's the one to make sure that house is clean and is kept, right? Cooking, feeding me, make sure I'm healthy, because I'm the one who's going to be protecting her if, God forbid, something happens or when society collapses. See, a lot of people say that, hey, good boy, if you're talking about polygamy, why you don't have multiple wives? I'm not dealing with crazy chicks like this. If this is my choice, this is what I have to choose from, I'll stay with my wife. I'm good. I may consider maybe in the future when I travel, whatever. But even if this situation is spreading to the next part of the world and things of that nature, and I got to deal with just with my wife, I'm cool with it, because that's not the point, guys. It's not monogamy or polygamy. It's the concept that comes with the idea of monogamy. You're only supposed to have one, brother. If you don't have one, or you don't settle down with one, you don't really love her. That's a lie from the pits of hell. That's why I could talk about it freely. And I don't have to whisper, well, brother, I don't mind another wife, but, my wife, they will have some issues. It's a mindset, guys. It's a mindset. See, that's why I'm not jumping around to, you don't see me with 5 or 6 women. And trust me, I can get them. But the biggest thing for me right now at the age 50, man, is peace. Peace. That's more important to me right now. And this movement. Help men to make better decisions. Help men understand that if she doesn't respect you on day number 1, she's never going to respect you in day 1,000. You have to know how to follow the right chick, how to find the right woman, the right personality, the right structure. And I got to say this, guys. It'll be a miracle to find a good woman in these big cities. Stay away from the Bronx, Brooklyn, these big cities, California, Florida. They're no good. I don't care whoever is get their feeling hurt. There may be 1 in a million. I believe there's good women in America. I believe there's only 1%. If that, 1%. 350 million people, half of that is women. That's 375 million women. 1% of 75 is like about whatever that number is. Look it up. I'm telling you guys, don't let these women trick you to think that you're the problem. These crazy chicks are the problem.
That plagues you so you can have healthy relationships. Love you, King. Be well. It appears a man has entered the chat. And you're wrong. Let's explore why.
Okay, so. And you can see her crazy butt. She you gotta laugh, but it is sad. It is sad, but we gotta walk away, man. Remember Lot's wife. We gotta I'm not dealing with that. I'm not going to try to help that. I'm not going to try to understand why she acts that way. Well, maybe she's been hurt. Or maybe we could help her. She is kind of cute, blah, blah, blah. Trust me, guys, you're going to regret it. You're going to regret it. Because if men are so lonely as she's claiming, right? I'm going to show you guys another video. Okay? This is a video that went viral of a sister that went to a meet and greet, right? And no man showed up. Only women. So are we alone or are we single by choice? Let's talk about it.
Women showed up.
Look at that. Men showed up. All women there, only women. There she is. She's, and she's a good-looking woman, but you could tell she's conceited, stuck up, and the man has to be in her level. We ain't dealing with it because we understand, Mama, once you take off your makeup and we see you in the morning, you're like a 7, a 5, a 6. You're all right. You can put yourself nice, but it ain't worth it. So there she is by herself with her bad self. Look. Oh, no, all women. No men. Where the men at? We alone. We're by ourselves. We're lonely. No, we're not. We're peaceful. Look at that. No man. The only guy that was let me back a little bit. The only man that was there was the bartender serving drinks. Look. All women by themselves. This is supposed to be a single. It says a single mixer fails when no man shows up. And now when you look at the backdrop on this, or maybe the promoter didn't promote it right. Nah. Listen, ladies, sex is more accessible to men than ever before in history. Guys now got side chicks. Because see, women ain't loyal. Women are not like, they play this game But you go find always a dysfunctional woman to have sex with. And once you satisfy that need, guys say, you know what? Why deal with the drama? Because back in the days, it's like, okay, you will take on the responsibility of being with a woman because you want to have sex. That's part of a male biology. Don't be ashamed about it, guys. Just accept it. But I understand you have to protect your loins. You have to protect yourself. And you have to now make sure that now it's not the time to spread your seed. Now is the time to get on your Enoch and overcome the thing that is hard for you to overcome, and that is sex. And I'm a lucky one that I got my wife, that I don't have to worry about that. If I want sex, I have it. But my heart goes out to brothers that are out there, single, believing in God, but they can't find a right wife, and choosing a wife, any wife, because they need a wife, and they get caught up with disrespect. Run. And Joe Mad Crew. And I will guarantee you, I will make you more powerful than you ever believe. Because it's all about mindset. It's all about, an outlook on life. And these women are going to use the Bible to try to keep you in this prison. You got to love me. The Bible says you got to love. The Bible says there's no divorce. Well, we're going to go into that tomorrow. I'm going to go into that. We're going back to church tomorrow. I'm going to be doing lessons. Yeah, tomorrow I'm Elder Gabar again. Because the scripture says obedience is like the sin of witchcraft. And the scripture says, suffer not a wish to live. I'm not condoning killing women. What I'm saying is we're going to go into scripture tomorrow. Because people are picking and choosing. If your wife doesn't respect you, that's not your wife. Don't give water any passage, neither a wicked woman liberty. If she doesn't go go your way, remove her from your flesh and give her a bill of divorcement. That scripture still stands. So we're gonna go to church tomorrow. I'm not starting a church, but we're gonna go in these scriptures tomorrow. Because I'm sick and tired of women manipulating men to stay in a position, in a place that, you know what? That's not your destiny, brother. That's not where you belong. You belong in a place that a woman respects you, and understand that if she gives you too much lip, you're out of there. You always got to keep a woman that she knows that, you know what? I can't push this guy too much because he will leave my butt. You got to keep a woman always on the edge. Don't keep a woman too comfortable. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. So there it is. There it is. There they go. Right? By themselves. There you go, your pretty self. Right? No man. Look at these sisters. By themselves. Nobody is giving them 2 cents. No attention. And why is that? Because men are waking up. Men are traveling. Men are saying, you know what? We are not subject to American women anymore. And we're going to talk about that because there are Israelites women everywhere. In Africa, in South America, in the Middle East, in Asia. And we're going to explore that. We're going to deal with that because I truly believe that this is how the gospel is going to be spread. The good men that are going to leave Babylon and going to deal with this male stratosphere, this no-nonsense kind of man, and we're going to preach the gospel because, listen, I'm not about you marrying these women and she being a Buddhist and you an Israelite. Nah, she's going to have to convert. She's going to have to convert to the Bible, the God of the Bible. And once we start spreading this network of men and converting these women, because these women in these other countries, when they got a good man, they know it. It's easy to convert a woman if you know what you're doing. The reason why my wife converted 20-something years ago when I first became an Israelite, because she knew I was about to leave her. I was telling her, I can't, this has to go, that has to go, that has to go. She used to be, dealing with brewery, santeria and all that. She had like a little potato in the corner. She knew if I was that guy that I would condone that and be like, well, I want to, and allow her to boast up and me step down. I would have been having problems this day. She knew that I was leaving her. And we was like only months in the relationship. We just started moving in together, maybe like 3-4 months. Because I'm a type of guy that once I'm focused, listen. That's how you got to be, brothers. Don't give your power to a woman. Don't give your heart to a woman. A woman has to earn your heart. Your woman has to earn your love. And don't let any man, woman, or child convince you otherwise. You're the prize. You're the prize, not them. You're the protector. You're God's image. And we're going to continue building this thing. So if anybody wants to come in and have a conversation, the number is 267-358-0879. You can text me first. I'm pretty sure people are too scared to even call. I don't know. I know that I'm going to probably lose a lot of fans. It's okay. I'll build new ones. I'm not concerned about, being popular. I'm all about spreading this gospel of truth and bringing forth the real men of the Lord. This constant going back and forth and waiting for the women to get their act right. There's no time for that, guys. We got work to do. Okay? We got a nation to build. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this show. This is the first show of many, right? This is going to be, I think, a conversation we're going to be continuing having. I'm going to be on these airwaves. I'm going to be coming. I'm going to try to come on more than usual. So make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you put the notification bell. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, TikTok. I'm going to be going live there as well. I'm going to be going live also on Spotify, Patreon, because they took my old channel. I'm going to be building multiple channels. Make sure you support those as well. So it's going to be a thing that if they take this one down, I got another one. If they take that one down, I got another one, and so forth, so on. I'm going to be moving in 2-3 steps ahead of these guys. So make sure you like, subscribe, and let's continue this conversation. Let's continue this conversation. Before you call me crazy, before you call me insane, just consider it. Because when it's all said and done, it's about results, producing results. You build a man, and that man will build his family. Okay? We're starting backwards. Build a family. No. Build a family. It's all about family, the image, the family. No. You build a man first. Adam was first formed, then Eve. Then that man will build his own family. We don't have to build nothing for him because he knows exactly how to do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this first official show. Iron Fit podcast. And are you fit to be a man? Are you fit to be a man going God's way, and tolerate nothing and no one that will derail your purpose, your greatness? And if you're that guy, I want to talk to you. Make sure you send an email, okay, at iamfitpodcast@gmail.com, iamfitpodcast@gmail.com. Make sure you leave your number, your name, where you're calling from, and things of that nature. And at this point, if anything, a church, a family is getting in your way, get out. Get out. Because at this point, it's too late in the game. We're in the midnight hour. So let the Most High keep you, bless you, brothers and sisters. Just stay tuned, because this is the channel that you need for survival. This is the channel that you're going to, follow these guys. Follow me. Follow what I'm telling you. I'm right. I know it's going to seem strange and bizarre, and you're going to feel it's like this is some suppressive scenario, but it's not. We're looking out for you. It's for your damn good. We're doing this. But brothers, it starts with you. So let's build the men. Peace and shalom.